The single dad returned home earlier than expected after a long and exhausting trip. His body ached from travel, but something felt off the moment he stepped inside. The house, usually filled with small sounds of life, was completely silent. Even the air felt still. He placed his bag down quietly and walked further in, his footsteps echoing softly. A strange unease crept over him as he noticed everything looked normal, yet felt different. Without making a sound, he headed toward his bedroom, unaware that what he was about to see would completely catch him off guard. As he pushed the door open, he suddenly froze in place. There, lying in his bed, was the maid. She was fast asleep, completely unaware of his presence. For a moment, his mind went blank. Confusion quickly turned into a flicker of anger. This was something he never expected. Questions rushed through his mind. How long had this been happening, and why? His jaw tightened as he stepped closer, intending to wake her immediately. But something about her stillness made him pause. Instead of reacting right away, he carefully observed her, trying to understand the situation. The closer he got, the more he noticed details that didn't match his initial assumptions. Her face looked unusually pale, and there were dark circles under her eyes, as if she hadn't slept properly in days. Her breathing was slow but heavy, as though she was deeply exhausted. What caught his attention the most was her hand. She was tightly clutching a small, worn-out photo, holding it close to her chest, as if it meant everything to her. The anger inside him began to fade, replaced by curiosity and concern. This didn't look like carelessness. It looked like someone completely drained. Before he could say anything or decide what to do next, she suddenly stirred. Her eyes opened wide the moment she saw him standing there. Fear instantly filled her expression. She quickly sat up, her hands shaking as she tried to fix her appearance. Words stumbled out of her mouth. As she began apologizing over and over again, her voice trembled, barely steady enough to speak clearly. It was obvious she wasn't just scared of losing her job. There was something deeper behind her panic. She avoided eye contact, unable to face him directly. Tears formed in her eyes as she begged him not to fire her. Her voice cracked with emotion, and her grip on the photo tightened even more. In that moment, he could see she was not acting out of disrespect, but out of desperation. The room, once filled with tension, now felt heavy with unspoken truth. His anger had completely disappeared, replaced by a quiet confusion and concern. He realized this situation was not as simple as it seemed. Standing there, he hesitated, knowing that whatever came next would reveal a story he wasn't prepared to hear. Instead of reacting with anger, the man took a slow breath and chose to remain calm. His voice was steady as he gently asked her to explain what was going on. The maid hesitated at first, her eyes filled with fear and uncertainty. She looked like she was deciding whether to speak or stay silent, but something in his tone made her feel safe enough to open up. Her shoulders dropped slightly, and she clutched the photo tighter as if it gave her strength. With trembling lips, she finally began to speak, her voice soft and fragile. Through tears, she confessed everything she had been hiding. She explained that she had no place to live and had been secretly staying in the house at night. She never meant any harm, and only chose his room because it made her feel safe and protected. She had been struggling silently, afraid that if anyone found out, she would lose the only job keeping her afloat. Her words came out in broken sentences, filled with emotion and shame. It was clear she had been carrying this burden, alone for a long time, without anyone to turn to. As she spoke, she slowly opened her hand and looked at the photo she had been holding. It was a picture of her younger brother, a boy with a weak smile but kind eyes. She explained that he was very sick and needed constant care and medicine. Everything she earned went toward his treatment, leaving her with nothing for herself. She had sacrificed her comfort, her rest, and even her dignity just to keep him alive. Her voice cracked as she spoke about him, revealing how much she loved him and how terrified she was of losing him. The man stood there in silence, absorbing every word. The anger he had felt earlier was completely gone, replaced by a deep sense of understanding and empathy. He realized she had not been careless or disrespectful. She had simply been desperate, trying to survive in a situation that offered her no easy choices. Her actions, though wrong on the surface, came from a place of fear and responsibility. He could see her strength beneath the exhaustion, and it changed the way he looked at her completely. This was not a mistake. It was a cry for help. After a moment of quiet thought, he made a decision that surprised even himself. Instead of punishing her, he offered to help. He assured her that she wouldn't lose her job and that she no longer had to hide or struggle alone. His words brought instant relief to her face, and tears of fear turned into tears of gratitude. That night became a turning point for both of them. What began as a shocking discovery turned into a moment of compassion, creating a bond built not on authority, but on kindness and understanding.